Why, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful City of Mist. I want to call them agents. I'm not even sure what to call them. Currently investigators, I guess. Coffee baristas, etc., etc. Just finished questioning a very specific individual, one Cindy. It is now early morning. They are full of answers and hopefully full of intrigue. Let's join them. Yo, what's up?
Oh God!
Scare, jump scare.
You should have put a trigger warning for that.
This video is sponsored by Depends. Anyway, hello everyone. Hello everyone. It's a good thing. Anyway, their new model, twice as absorbent. So yes, we all finished speaking with Cindy. We have answers. We have questions. We now have a list of characters. I can technically make this editable by anyone. I can also update it if you guys say, hey, that little information on Aaron Albright, can you add something extra? I can totally do that. So if you guys don't want it in your notes, primarily Roxanne, because you're the one I can hear clacking away, if you want a really small quippy little bit attached to a character, please let me know and I will do so. Anything to make it easier for you guys. So we now have information, we have names, we have stuff. Where are we headed to next? It is morning, by the way.
My notes just say find Gail and Andreas. I don't know why I make these notes so vague sometimes.
That's basically what you got, yeah.
Could be worse, you know?
I think I have something about Reynolds at pier in large building, something near top and being empty, and then go find older man from the auction who may have met him as well. That's all I got.
Indeed, yes, there is a location near the pier that your boy might be using. Potentially, we're not sure. And yes, two people, Andres and Gail.
We volunteered Moira to go talk to Andreas because I sucked at it. Andreas was the one who worked for Reginald, right?
No, he worked at Lending Way.
Do you have any questions, waifu murderer of Ogwai?
I'm thinking.
Don't you search for a name? Don't you?
Yeah, you.
Her government name, you mean?
Not everyone knows.
Don't you invoke that?
They can summon me at a ritual sacrifice. Oh, but they don't know what to sacrifice.
Does anyone have any general questions they'd like to ask Mr. Rodriguez?
I feel like we should come in strong and let him know that we know he wasn't saying everything he could have said. Do you know what I mean? Because we did talk to him once before, though, right?
You did, yes. He was very standoffish.
He was really standoffish. Didn't I go to his house?
Uh-huh. I believe you got the information from his prior place of work.
That's right.
So how do we want to approach this? We going straight for him? Are we...
I'm going straight to his house.
Yeah, I mean, we know where he is.
All right, that works.
I'm going to go straight to him.
Sure. Fortunately...
He already knows that I know him also, so...
Correct. I'm not sure if you probably did because this is in line with Moira. Pretty sure you left behind a card and he just kind of went, eh.
Oh, for sure I did.
Yeah.
I also use that as a gauge of how people are going to speak to me, so.
Indeed. That's definitely a good, Are we friends? Oh, you're being rude. Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely calculated. Perfect.
Well, your group, all four of you, are able to head over to his location with relative ease. And it's somewhat early, but you'll swing by anyway. And I mentioned he lives in an apartment complex, so you guys ascend. He's on the second, third floor. And you see his apartment there before you. I assume you are leading, Moira.
Yeah.
All right.
Heading in.
We're just going in hot, just knocking. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. He just seemed not in the mood, basically. So you knock again. You wait again. This time longer than your first visit.
Can I hear him? He's in there for sure.
Oh yeah, you can hear him shuffling his way to the door. And
he's shuffling his way there, though.
Yeah, and as he is doing so, he grumbles while opening the door. Not all the way, just a crack. One of the chain lock is still engaged, and he looks through the crack and just goes, "Hey, what do you want?"
Just wanted to talk to you again, Andre.
He narrows his eyes at you and goes, it's early. Who are you again? Oh, shit, I remember you.
Yep. I thought you would.
Yeah, I see you brought your friends. I just woke up.
Good. Means
I
you
have an extra coffee.
Oh. Come bring gifts this time. Appreciate that.
I do think that. Wait, don't drink it yet. Actually, I want you less awake so that your lies will be less effective. I snatched the coffee back. Sorry, Radia. I drink the coffee instead.
You had yours. It's right here.
I'm just kidding. I don't drink it.
Maintain eye contact.
I do take it back from him, though.
Okay, well, he didn't reach out for it. So, Radia, you kind of held it forward. Then he nodded as to say thanks. And then he kind of stopped it. And then he looked at it and was like, what? All right. Is the coffee for me or not? What are we doing here?
It is, but only if you tell the truth.
Hey, fine. Come in. And he closes the door, unlocks it, swings it open. He's wearing a pretty ripped up shirt, pajama bottoms, and he just kind of motions for y'all to come on in. He definitely just woke up.
All right. I guess we go in.
Okay. Your group enters, and he's definitely single, definitely bachelor. He's got like a pizza box left out. Just, it's not horribly messy, but it's not where it should be in terms of cleanliness. Judgment. He's not expecting guests, but clearly doesn't really give a shit. So he motions for y'all to sit down after pushing said pizza box out of the way and just like, all right, have a squat, I guess.
I guess I pop a squat. Uncomfortably close. Not uncomfortably close. I'm just kidding.
Doesn't have enough chairs, so he like flips over some boxes and lays them down, just kind of motions and shrugs, just like, sorry, I wasn't expecting 4 people to just come in my door.
I'll stand.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so who are you people? What do you want exactly?
We've already talked about this, Andre.
Yeah, I can't fully say I remember everything. Run me down real quick.
Well, I guess I give him the rundown.
Okay, he nods. Kinda. Alright, is this about my boss again, or what?
Yeah, it is. It is, actually.
Well, what more do you need to know about him?
I need you to tell me everything you know.
About what, precisely?
I think you know what.
He looks at your group again, and slowly nods and says, you're gonna have to be a little more clear.
At a game, how can I be more clear?
By literally saying something or showing him?
I guess showing him, maybe.
Okay, what do you do?
Is showing off our abilities what we want to do?
So we're trying to get him to trust us?
He doesn't trust you guys.
You know what? I'll go ahead. I'll make my eyes glow red.
Okay.
I'll pull my sunglasses down.
Alrighty, with this, there are different ways to harm foes and opponents and such, as we are aware. So I'd like you to roll me, go toe-to-toe, except use tags specifically that would be showing off your powers. We're using this to convince him, effectively.
Both of us?
Yes, please.
I don't have, like, red eyes or anything, though, in the theme tags.
That's fine. You have your unsettling aura. You have your, not gut feeling, obviously, doesn't really do anything. But you also have asking questions. So you can use that. You can unsettling aura. Not really much more than that, but a +1, +2 is fantastic in this game, so that's really all you need.
I'll go ahead and I'll do that.
Yeah, remember, +1's good, +2 is great, +3 is like godlike in this system.
Well,
sometimes things aren't great. We'll have Roxanne roll hers, and like I said before, I will let you guys retroactively help each other if you wish. So Radia or Xander could assist Moira in whatever she's doing after Roxanne rolls.
Can I do night vision? Because that's kind of what my eyes are for.
Yes, you're literally showing off your night vision. That makes sense.
All right. Can I also, can my brother join in by making his eyes glow, like, right behind me?
He shouldn't be visible, so yeah, that's definitely something. Alrighty, perfect. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit him with a...
I can't see what I rolled because of my books.
You rolled an 11. Good job. So we're going to give him the status. We'll just call it Believer. I probably spelled Believer wrong, but whatever. I think that says Believer. That's fine. I don't feel like fixing it. Alrighty, Radia or Xander, as Moira's trying to show off her powers, you guys can tell that something's going to go wrong. So if either of you would like to change the game to assist her in a way, you definitely may.
How do we suspect that something's going to go wrong?
So one of the nice things about this system is it's very story-based. You can tell me what you do, and it's basically going to automatically work unless I say otherwise. So realistically, if you want me to give you an exact answer, Radia, you can use your knowing the neighborhood and your customer service to basically add on to what Moira's saying, effectively using your general charisma to add to Moira's role.
Okay. I Guess I'll try to do that.
Sure. So you can roll both of those, specifically change the game, and what we're basically trying to do is create a story tag to assist Moira.
I would just like to say that it's been a very long night for me, and I'm very tired, and that's the only reason it didn't work.
I mean, y'all didn't go to sleep. You went somewhere, yeah, you questioned somebody, and you're back on the street, so yeah. Excellent, a 12. All right, cool. So that will allow us to create a story tag. We don't necessarily need to name it. You definitely can if you wish. Charming words, maybe. But that brings you up to a 7, Moira.
Could be worse. I'll take it.
Yes, and the nice thing is that gives you a status of 3. So that brings his believer 2. It increases it to, since we add 3 on top of that, to 3. As you guys kind of show off your abilities and Radiah, you spin your tail a bit. He's like half paying attention. And as you reveal your brother and you both kind of eye glow at him at the same time, he goes from completely leaning back and just out of it to startled a bit, and he grabs onto the table before he falls over. He squints to look at you. He says, "The hell is that? What are you doing?"
Just showing you. Showing you.
All right, showing me what? What are you trying to do here?
Well, I'm not trying to hurt you if that's what you're worried about.
We need your help solving a problem.
Okay. What exactly is that problem? I see, well, clearly you're not normal folk. What are we doing?
A good guess. We need to know about your boss, Charles.
I told you already, I legitimately know nothing about him. He disappeared one day, and that's it.
Okay. I don't think that's true.
Which part?
That you know nothing.
I know some things. What do you want to know specifically?
How about you tell me what you left out last time?
I'll be honest, I don't remember our conversation, so I'll just repeat, I guess, what I know. I'm not lying, I promise. No reason to. My boss was a good guy, or on the surface he was at least. We ran our business. Everything was fine. People were happy. Something stupid happened one day. Suddenly he was gone. He leaves, takes all the money, trails disappeared. To me,
what was the stupid thing?
I don't know. Must have been big enough that it caused him to suddenly up and leave. Maybe he got tired of helping people. Maybe, I don't know. And he like runs his fingers through his hair. He legitimately is unsure. I thought he was a good guy, and he lied to me. He lied to all those people. I don't know.
What? Do you know what he was getting into?
No, I have no idea. I trusted him.
What made you have that reaction?
Which reaction?
The reaction that you realized he was a bad guy.
Paperwork didn't add up. There were numbers missing, and all the money was gone. What else am I supposed to think? We worked above board. We weren't scam artists. We weren't cheating people.
But it turns out he was.
That's got to be my guess. I thought we were keeping a close eye on things. I didn't go over them with a fine-tooth comb or anything, because I didn't think I needed to. The three of us ran things perfectly fine, perfectly well. I didn't speak with every client. He spoke with the more special ones. I don't exactly have the most charming personality, but I can run things fine in the background.
Was there any particular person he met client-wise or such that within a handful of days before this sudden disappearance? Can you track and have a list, a description?
I can maybe recall a couple people, but I don't know is the problem. I don't judge people based off of the looks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not exactly the most, I guess, charismatic looking person. I kind of rub people the wrong way sometimes. I get that. And regardless of my past and things that I've done and maybe Charles did and Mandy and all, whatever, doesn't matter. I don't judge people when they come in. People looking for money, they're looking for help, we help them. It's as simple as that. Maybe there's some rough looking folk that came in, but it was semi-frequent, and I'm not going to look at them and think they're trying to rip us off, or we're ripping them off, or he's running something shady underground. I don't know, but the last couple days, I guess I can describe a couple folk to you. Are you looking for anyone in particular? If you got a description, I can maybe match it faster than just listen off random descriptions of people.
Is there anybody that we could describe to him?
Do we know what Reginald Albright looks like?
No, at least not currently. But you could have your boy look into it and maybe help a little bit.
How do I not know what Reginald Albright looks like?
I mean, he was just some guy working out of an office. True. Yeah,
he wasn't a politician or anything.
Nah, just some dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you mean my guy as in secret sponsor?
Yeah. He may have just been some guy, but he still, dealt with some pretty high-named folks.
People.
Yeah, some rich people. So he's not trying to, hide himself underground. There's got to be photos of him out there somewhere.
Sure. Can I shoot off a text to my secret sponsor?
Yeah, most definitely. Go and roll me investigate. And if you want, he can just start randomly listing people, but you guys are going to be here for a good portion of the day, and you're going to have to convince him to want to do this. So that'll definitely require a convince roll from one of y'all. He definitely does not want to sit here just describing people.
Can I try convincing him?
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, we don't need the descriptions of
already doing it.
everybody. We just need some that made him seem like after his meeting with them, he seemed not himself. Maybe after meeting with them, if he came out, got an extra couple glasses of water from the water cooler or something, and just looks distressed.
So effectively, from what he's told you so far, none of that happened. Everyone seemed to be fairly equal. But that roll was for investigate, for Roxanne asking your secret sponsor. So by the end of the day, they'll definitely have that for you, 100%. They'll send you pictures, actually.
A 9 was good enough for pictures. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, you get 2 clues. They're fully answered. So, Moira, if you want, you can roll me convince with all of your investigation type tags. And we're not trying to, obviously, scare him, so we don't want to use any of the Mothman stuff.
Scare him. No, I'm kidding.
I could.
You could. Hey, convince. Perfect. All right. So, effectively, they're just going to do what you ask of them. So, initially, the way he says this is I'm not going to just start describing people. Come on. What do you tell him, Moira, that's going to convince him?
Oh, no.
People are dying?
Yeah, I mean, maybe something to do with my whole righting wrongs thing.
Okay. So you kind of bring that up. You add in the extra because, yeah, you did hear that at one point. I mean, even now, he wants to do good for people. He wants to help. That was literally his entire job. So you bring this up and he kind of... and with an 11, it's a full success. He, again, runs his fingers through his hair, but he doesn't pull them out. He just kind of starts scratching at his scalp, breathes out again, and goes, all right, fine. You gotta do one thing for me, though. That coffee you promised me. Is it still warm?
Can May get her dragon to heat it up?
I go to touch it with a little spell under my hands and warm it back up to nice, proper, fresh brew heat.
Useful.
Nice.
Excellent. He doesn't see that.
Yep.
He hands it, takes a sip, and goes, ooh, this is good.
Isn't it? Her stuff is the best.
It is, honestly.
And I will show the location of the store.
No, his eyes light up at that and says, oh, you run a business with this. Nice. I was about to recommend maybe open a shop. Very nice. Well, mind and body is recharged. Sure, I can mention a few folk. Well, y'all gonna write this down and compare it to information you got or what?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, listen closely because I'm not gonna repeat myself.
Jasper, take notes.
Already on it. As you turn to him, he already has a scrawl out. He turns to you and just smiles. Andre really thinks for a second, goes, oh God, this is a lot of information from a while ago. And he just starts listing descriptions. He's just going down the list of so this person. And he's really only mentioning the ones that stuck out. He effectively worked, behind the scenes. He didn't really see every customer. Mandy was most likely in charge of greeting them. He wasn't the face of the company. Charles was definitely the face of the company, 100%. And as he's describing them, since you guys have run into this group multiple times, he describes 2 people that sound very, very, very similar to some individuals you ran into at some point that were working with Honeylip.
Honeylip.
Oh no.
He also starts to describe a gentleman in a very nice suit and kind of fizzles out, but doesn't realize he fizzles out. As in, he starts to describe the person, stops, and then basically starts describing the next person.
Is that somebody we recognize, or?
Yeah. Wait, that would be Honeylip, wouldn't it? Wasn't Honeylip the one who made people forget him?
Yes.
And
he's continuing. He's just talking about more people past that. He's just kind of going on.
Is there anybody else that he's saying, or?
None that you recognize now. He's just mentioning a bunch of non-descriptive or some where he opens with, listen, all I know is they had brown hair that was long. Sorry, that's all I could tell. But from basically what you gathered, one person that he doesn't even notice that he skipped over effectively, and then 2 other people that you know for a fact were enforcers at some point.
Do we remember exactly which enforcers?
Yes, definitely.
Because I obviously don't want to go back to Honey Lip. I think that's a big no-no for Roxanne.
Hate the name Honey Lip.
You can call him Fabio Santorini if you wish.
I'll just call him Honey.
Wait,
no, call him
wait.
Honey.
Is Honey Lip a nickname?
Yeah, basically. It's.
I thought that was like his real name.
No.
I thought that was his government name.
Oh God, that's like his name. It's his villain name, yeah. Basically, if you want,
It's his villain name. Okay.
Effectively, it's like his gang name.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'll allow it.
Yes, he's a consigliere for the Falzoni company, family, whatever.
How often and how recently did those two men and the man in the suit visit?
Are you asking him?
Yeah.
He pauses. He goes, I'd say it was less than a week before we closed down, or before we left. Why? You know him?
Yeah.
Oh, not a fruitless investigation then. Okay. How do you know them exactly? You ask questions, I ask questions.
Well, the man you can't remember his face of.
Huh?
We had a deal. The man in the suit. Can you describe what his face looked like?
Yeah, he had a really nice suit. He was a beaming, sparking personality, and
That's not his face.
shit. I can't remember what he looked like.
You won't be able to. It's fine.
That's normal?
With him, yes.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's definitely a lead. Has my secret sponsor gotten the picture back?
We'll say it's probably been a few hours if you guys are kind of sitting here. Maybe he ordered pizza at some point.
Ooh. I'll pay for it.
Oh, excellent. He appreciates that.
I mean, I gotta schmooze up to him somehow.
Hey, anything y'all do.
Yeah, I mean, who needs charisma when you have money?
This is true.
Exactly.
What's the difference? Just don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut and throw money at people. So he dials back a bit, redescribes the two people that you saw a little more, and kind of thinking back, he's like, yeah, but basically like these individuals ran into him and then, poof, sometime after that. And he's thinking back to it like, why can't I remember this guy look like? And he's not sure if you remember the conversation. And while he's thinking, Roxanne, you get a little bzz, text on your phone, and you receive some images from a website that was taken down. Didn't really take your sponsor too long to get this information, but he decided to gather like 2 or 3 photos of this individual.
I'm going to text back, thank you, secret sponsor, heart, 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 and show off the pictures to
Heart.
Andre.
Did you actually type secret sponsor?
No.
I try to look at the text.
I probably have a nickname for him, but I haven't figured out what it is yet.
All right, and you're showing the picture of
Reginald Albright?
Okay. What are you saying? Are you just showing the picture?
Do you recognize this man?
He goes from fairly chipper to, you notice his shoulders slump down like a little bit. He slouches slightly.
So
And
he does recognize him.
yeah, he narrows his eyes again and looks past your phony Roxanne and says, why?
He is another potential lead.
Okay, how so?
Well, his son died and he disappeared.
Like,
Same as Charles.
okay. We're thinking like killed, snagged by the mafia, or what's going on here?
Unknown at this point. We do have a potential lead to his whereabouts, but that's about it.
Okay. I might have seen the man before, but I don't know much about him.
That expression on your face says otherwise.
Wasn't expecting you to just flash a picture at me, sorry.
Moira, don't you agree that the best way to catch people off guard is to just quickly whip something out?
Roxanne, that sounds like you're trying to flash people.
Flash pictures, yes, you are correct.
That's not what I meant, and you know it. Kids these days.
You can still flash people by flashing pictures.
You can do both. Multitasking. Woohoo. Sure, yeah, that's definitely a thing. I agree.
He clears his throat and looks at your group and says, am I done describing the people that came by the office? Did you get what you need?
I think we're good, right, Moira?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've, I say eaten my pizza, but Roxanne, you paid for it, thank you. So I guess you've eaten Roxanne's pizza. I've taken coffee from you. You guys have paid for my food today, I appreciate it. I assume it's all we need, though?
Yeah, unless you got anything else for us.
Not that I can think of. Y'all seem like good folk. Sorry for being so brash when I first ran into you, Moira. Wasn't having a good day.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm here to help, you know?
Appreciate it.
So if you need anything, genuinely, if you think of anything, you already have my card.
He nods.
Use it if you think you need to.
Will do. I can defend myself, but if something crazy happens, I'll let you all know.
Sounds good.
So you're not going to tell us anything about Reginald?
He's getting up as if you guys are getting ready to go, and then you ask that, Roxanne. He looks at you and says, "What more is there to tell?"
Was
what
he a
more was
patient?
there to tell?
Was he a client?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So what, have you seen him in passing?
Yeah, I met the man in passing. I met him in a bar once. He seemed down.
How long ago?
Shit, I don't know. Weeks back?
Does that connect to his son's death, or?
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. Did he say anything, maybe, while you were talking to him?
Nothing specific that I can remember, no. Just, not, life ain't fair. But yeah, life ain't fair. Shit happens. Shit happened to me too, so we just kind of chit-chatted for a while. About nothing, really.
All right.
Do I need to look out for this individual or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was sad for a reason.
I'll keep my eyes open.
And I certainly know what the death of a family member can do to someone. So. All right, we'll be on.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe out there. And he shows y'all to the door as the four of you exit. We'll say it's about definitely afternoon, like 3, 4, probably.
Do we have any idea where Gail is?
I'm trying to remember if she gave you guys a general clue.
Only that he was an old man. In fact, I offered up my power for a name, is what my notes say.
Gotcha. Let's say you did receive some information. For him in particular, because we obviously already know that Mr. Andre worked at Lending Way. Mr. Gale Highland, they let you know that he frequents a location called Timeless Records. It's an all record shop. It's in the name.
Well, let's go.
Yeah. If that's the next step, that's the next step.
I mean, the real next step would also be to actually, can I send my shadows out to find those 2 enforcers?
Yes, most definitely. Go ahead and roll me investigate using whatever your shadow tags are. Well, basically, whatever tags aren't you asking questions, but them doing what they do. Excellent. An 8. Okay. What do you want to know specifically?
Then I guess the question would be, do they know anything about Charles?
I'll answer that basically when you're done speaking with Gale. So you send some shadows out to hit the streets, and they're going to ask questions. And on your way over, Moira, you receive a call real quick from Mr. Marvin.
Stop.
Yep.
All right. I pick up. Hey, Marvin.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Hey, how you doing, Moira?
It's pretty good. What's up?
Good. Just calling you because I remembered something.
Okay.
Hey, right.
Can elaborate on that?
Yeah. Sorry, just busy with work here and such. Before you doing all right?
Yeah.
Good. Well, real quick and easy. I remember when we chatted last, y'all mentioned something about did I feel some sort of presence, or I think Xander mentioned like a demon or something. I told y'all no initially because, well, I didn't. But now that I'm thinking back, I don't know if my mind is clear or what. Maybe my memories are playing tricks on me. Not entirely sure, but yeah, when I first met with Albright, I did feel something watching me from the shadows.
Could you describe that feeling?
See, that's just it. I've been racking my brain to figure out what it is, but all I know is this ain't really a feeling that we get in the city. I mean, maybe it is sometimes, but you know us, we got that extra little kick of strength, so we don't need to be quite as scared roaming the streets as regular folk. But I'd say, I guess if we're gonna simplify it, almost like a predator was watching me. Not like the movie, but like, a lion or something.
Do you feel, this is probably a weird question, do you feel like it was watching you from the shadows? More like it was part of the shadows.
I was about to say, with my shadows everywhere, it really could have been me.
It could have been you. That's why I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't think it was the shadows in particular watching me. I think it was something just trying to hide and stay out of the distance for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't remember it until recently.
So you kind of felt watched. Did it make you...
A little uneasy, not gonna lie. It wasn't necessarily threatening, but it's the same thing as, someone comes up to you and they're already holding like a baseball bat or a gun or something. Like, you're bringing a weapon for violence and we're just trying to have a conversation. It puts you on edge instantly.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I think this is useful. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, no problem.
Wait. Did you ever meet a man in a fancy suit, but you don't know his face?
It should. That's not exactly a question I can answer. Do I remember someone I don't remember?
Yeah. I mean, you should remember a suit and a charming personality.
But no face.
All right, silence for about 5 seconds. And he goes, not that I can think of, no. And how many people wear suits and swing by my neighborhood, if you sort of catch my drift?
Got it.
Anything else?
Nope. I think we're good.
Y'all can just call me, send me a text, leave me a message, whatever. My phone should be open for y'all.
Let us know if you have that feeling again.
Will do. Thank y'all.
All right. Thank you for giving us a call, Marvin.
Anytime.
Have a good one.
Yep. And he hangs up. And by this point, your group has driven to the Timeless Records. This location is quite a bit nicer than the others that we have been to. This is not like a super bougie part of town, but it's more of a, I don't want to call it like straight up hipster, but it's like the nice part of downtown, kind of where college students and such will hang out. But there's tons of specialty shops. There's like game shops and specialty coffee and ice cream and pretzels, all types of food, and really, really, really particular such as collecting records, hobbies. So all that good stuff. Parking here is not hell, but if you've ever been downtown, takes you a little longer to park than you'd like. You might have to do a couple circles, but you eventually find a good location. Y'all park, and I assume we're all going into the building.
Yep.
Perfect. As you all head on in.
I'm just to detour and look at the video game store, but gets pulled along.
Perfect. Say that exists. You got board games, you got RPGs, and you got not GameStop, because that's not Andy. Anyway.
No GameStop?
We don't need GameStop, we have GameStop at home. But yes, as you guys swing the doors open, you are instantly greeted by very smooth jazz that flows out towards you all. Looking around this building, there are many rows there are some CDs, cassettes, but primarily there are indeed records. There are posters up all along the walls. Some of them are in very clear, intentional glass display cases to show off maybe old advertisements, effectively, for just... I'm trying to think of a time period. I'm probably going to get it wrong, so I won't say it. I want to say 60s, probably older than that. Basically, like the big boom of jazz that hit America. I forgot that exact year, but you got Miles Davis and all the good shit.
The Blues Brothers.
Sure, that's a movie, but yeah, why not? That's up there too. That's a classic. Weirdly enough, they don't sell the movie, but they got a poster and it's signed. Why the hell not? Very.
I want it.
Yeah, very comfy atmosphere. They have a couple locations for you to sit down, just listen to music. There's 2 rooms actually that look like they are soundproofed, basically. You can head on in. There's a record player in there. There's some, couches around, nice little table sit in the middle, and it looks like they probably sell tea or something in the back to kind of relax and just do as you will. And there's some younger folk here, but by the time you all get there, it's probably 5 or 6, so people are out and kind of doing their own thing. You see an individual at the counter who is about middle-aged, but then across from him, sitting, effectively minding his own business while listening to the flow of the music, you do indeed see an older gentleman who's just kind of sitting back and minding his own business.
Well, I'm about to mind it for him. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say that because it sounded funny.
Go.
Go do what?
Oh, mind his business for him.
I walk up to him.
Roxanne, did you possess her with some of your shadow people? Are you rubbing off on her too much?
No, I would never.
Hey, sir.
As you head on over, he takes a sip of his tea, eyes closed, enjoys it for but a moment. As he puts it down, he turns to you guys, and as I mentioned, Gale Highland is an older gentleman, full head of white hair that's cut a little short and worn upwards. He has a suit vest on, and then he's got a smaller pair of glasses. And he turns to look at you as he sets his tea down and goes, hello there. What can I do for you? He looks past you, Moira, to see your group, and he smiles, and it touches his eyes. He has very, very kind eyes. Doesn't seem put off at all.
Oh, no.
Men with kind eyes. We're
either about to regret this a whole lot, or... I
mean, if anybody else has something to say, I feel like I've been talking a lot this time, so...
Radaya, do you have any questions you're going to throw his way?
Yes, but don't know how to approach it tactfully.
Sure. I mean, so like I mentioned, this is indeed, a role-playing game, so if you want to ask a question, you do not need to be the tactful one. She knows what she's doing. Put your faith in Radaya, basically. You just tell me what you basically want to ask, and, we will make it so.
I say this tactfully.
Yeah, honestly, that's perfectly fine. You can tell me the tone you're going for. Y'all don't have to do voices and role-play. It's perfectly fine. Role-playing is just playing your character. You don't need to be in voice and whatnot. I know I do voices and whatnot, and I'm not telling you guys to, of course.
I love your voices, dear.
They're good voices.
We're meeting just a group. We're looking to find out why he was at the auction and if he actually met Reginald, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because we went there we were asking about Reginald, and she gave us those names. That makes sense.
Okay, so I tactfully tried to break the ice talking about records and jazz and how there has been some auctions of maybe jazz records lately.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me investigate using your I'm good at talking to people tags.
I guess there's only customer service, not really knowing the neighborhood, unless...
I feel like you know your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But this is well outside my neighborhood, I think.
It definitely is, but I would say these kind of people would be your customers. Were they closer?
Can I assist? My brother loves blues.
Most definitely.
Yeah, well, they're different genres, but go on.
Ooh, all right, you don't need to.
Never mind.
That's a 13. Holy shit.
Whoa.
Okay, I guess I have good dice today.
Whoa there!
Whoa! I hate you so much.
Down, Bojack. All right, moves the horse out of the way. All right, horses have been reined in, and sorry, Radaya.
How dare you say that?
Your roll is so good, Radaya. 13, I forgot. What was your question?
Basically, I was just going to approach breaking the ice, talking about jazz music at auctions, and maybe ask him if he's ever been to any auctions and see if he gets uncomfortable or
that's smooth.
Makes a mention of being somewhere.
Perfect. All right. You ask that, and he smiles at you while giving you a nod, Radaya, and says, yes, of course, I've been to a few auctions in my time, definitely. For music and things of that nature. Why do you ask, precisely?
I could have swore you looked familiar from one I was at fairly recent.
Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, what was the item?
I was just wondering if you're there too, or I'm just mistaken. You know what? I'm not really sure what it was for or about. It was, I think, a box with some glowy, I don't know, maybe goop, but definitely not jazz music.
Yeah, I was there. It got stolen.
Oh, he looks taken aback as if to say, oh, no way, that's horrible. And he laughs a little at saying not music, and he goes, well, I tend not to really dip my toes in anything that I'm not too aware of, so glowing red crystals, not necessarily something I'm too familiar on, one might say, but yeah, coffees, teas, music, as you mentioned, that's my wheelhouse.
You could put these crystals in tea.
Oh, they, what? Energy crystals, rejuvenating, precisely?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll have to keep an eye out.
I mean, it got stolen. No one knows where the stuff went.
Shame that. Hopefully there was no violence.
I actually heard a rumor that someone named Ralph Richard Albright may have taken them?
He kind of nods along as if to say, okay. But his face isn't really letting on that he really recognizes what you're saying or anything at all. And he says, well, that sounds terrible. The authorities looking for him.
Everyone's looking for this guy.
Well, I guess if what he stole is precious, I do hope he gives it back in his own time. But if the authorities need to get involved, well, so be it. Shame that I had to go down that way.
This guy's very smooth. I'm a little alarmed.
You know what they
I'm at a
say
loss
about
to where
people
to
that are
go.
that smooth.
I'm at a loss of where to go for this.
Me too.
I broke the ice, so come on, somebody else. Jump in. Go ahead.
I'm trying.
He definitely seems, in a backwards way for most individuals that you've spoken to, difficult to speak with. Everything that you guys mentioned, he rolls with perfectly fine, doesn't really seem to let on that anything's bothering him, or he recognizes the name. His eyebrows don't jolt up like most folk do. You don't really see any micro expressions of him twitching or frowning or smiling at anything in particular. As you guys kind of fire a few more questions at him, he just kind of takes them all in stride.
We know for sure he knows something, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you describe the area a little bit?
Are you looking for something in particular?
Not just like the space.
Yes, you guys are across from the counter in which tea and such is being prepared. All of the woods here are of very nice quality. Nothing has been, roughed down, so everything is nice and shiny and polished. He's sitting on a red sofa that basically wraps around various tables and such. There's only one other customer sitting at the other side. He's kind of sitting here alone as you guys are questioning him. He doesn't seem to mind whatsoever. Just beyond that is the record player, and past where you guys came in effectively are just rows and rows of records. That's it.
Is there anything I can do to get him to keep talking, I guess?
You're not sure. He seems very willing to talk with you guys, but you don't think he's going to bring up anything relating to the auction.
People that are incredibly willing to talk are often the ones hiding secrets the best. It's like inserting yourself into the crime scene,
Do you ever have a taste for power?
You're going to have to elaborate there. Friend, what's your name, by the way?
My name's Xander.
Wonderful to meet you, Xander. My name's Gale.
Do you ever feel like you want to push your limits above what you can do?
Sometimes, yes, definitely. I feel like I can always get better in my craft. I've recently taken on new duties, if you will, and always trying to, push myself in a way.
You say new duties?
Yeah, new duties, correct.
What kind of new hobbies are these?
Oh, probably nothing you'd be interested in, to be entirely honest. We ran into some, we'll say, financial issues not too long ago, and I've had to take over for running a coffee shop, effectively. Not owned by me, but, effectively, currently it is.
I have people who are very good with business sword. What happened?
At this, he kind of pauses a moment and takes another sip and says, the prior owner ran into some health issues, my partner, unfortunately. He's unable to take care of things, so I'm stepping in. It means a lot to him. Keep the place running. So, it would really hurt me to see it shut down. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Makes him happy.
And who was this previous owner? What was his name?
Oh, a lot of questions today. Do you happen to know the shop, or?
Well, we have a local coffee shop owner, or, whatever you want to call it. Radaya. She also owns a shop.
Oh, his eyebrows raise at that, and he looks at you, Radaya, and goes, oh, really? Maybe we can touch shop at some point.
Definitely.
But yes, his name is Eric Westcott.
And you said he fell ill recently.
Yes, more ill than usual.
More than usual. Oh dear. Does he have health problems?
Does he tend to have problems with health?
Yeah, I'll be entirely honest. It's not necessarily something I'd like to talk about, but things are looking good. They're definitely looking up. Hopefully, he'll just be in the hospital for another month or so, and then he'll be back to running things, and it's my job, my goal, to make sure things are perfect when he gets back. No changes.
Can you explain to me again what kind of shop he's running right now, or the shop?
Just a coffee shop.
Nothing else special, just a standard coffee shop.
Yeah, it's just like an old school, old style coffee shop. So they don't brew it the way your big boxes do. They either like pour over or.
And this is the guy that I saw at the auction, right?
Gale, you definitely saw Gale, yeah.
Do you find yourself a betting man?
Not really, no. Maybe when I was younger, I used to take chances, but now that I'm older, I prefer to go on the safe bet. Why?
Well, I don't want to say betting man, but like, what would you call people who like to go to auctions? Because there's like tons of auctions that people can go to.
Yeah, there are. I'm trying to think of a good. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, I don't actually know because they're not gamblers.
Yeah, I mean, because they're like hypothetically gambling with their money, but
Yes.
it's like they're not like gonna lose anything if they lose the auction.
Yeah,
but
there. I mean, some of them are collectors, but there is definitely. So where you guys were specifically, that one was more of a high money type situation. Obviously, you're aware you're throwing money at it, and people are still trying to fight against you, Xander, and it was quite a bit until everything went to shit. Of course, there are people that, of course, gamble with what do they call, like storage units and whatnot. They have no idea what's in those. You get a quick look, then they close it, and that's gambling. But this was more. This is the item. We all know what it is. Let's hurry get this done. It was definitely underground, though. To remind you guys, this was not open to the public.
how long ago was this auction?
I want to say about a week or so. I haven't kept track of every day that you guys have taken down, so around a week, maybe a little longer.
I just feel like I've just seen your face before.
Oh, really? I do hit the town up pretty frequently. The coffee shop isn't exactly open 24/7. Although I am always looking to better my craft, I swing by here occasionally. Are you into the older music?
I wouldn't say older music, but I'm definitely into the auctioning crowd. Are you?
Yes, I am. No, I've been to a few, but some of it's for rare overseas beans, maybe some music and such that was lost to time.
I saw you at an auction recently.
Oh yeah, which one? I do recall there was a signed record that was auctioned off about a week ago.
Did they say exactly what it's called when we were at the auction, or
they didn't say what it was out loud? But basically, if you're invited, you know what it is.
And it's called just ambrosia, right? Or
yeah,
and it's red, correct?
Yep, that's what we call it. Ambrosia. It is literally ambrosia. So yeah.
Is it like a red crystal, red powder? Like, how did it look?
It was like a crystal.
Oh, it's kind of a hush hush auction.
Oh.
With red top crystal.
Takes a nice sip. Yeah, shrugs and says, "Oh, sorry, I can't really seem to help you there. It doesn't really spark a memory."
You don't remember?
Not that I can say, no.
So I'm quite sure I remember seeing you there. We're all auctioning, have a little blast.
He's leaning on his hand, kind of stroking his beard, like, "Oh, really interesting." And just kind of shrugs again, and just says, "Honestly, might have mixed me up with somebody else, but I can't say I went to an auction for red crystals recently. Sorry."
God?
Yes.
I zoned out a little bit. Did he say he knows someone who's sick?
Yes, his partner.
So can we assume that he was hoping to get buy the ambrosia to help his partner recover?
Possibly.
Does the ambrosia, do we know if it does something like that?
It makes you a lot stronger, obviously. We don't know if it cures sicknesses, though.
Since if he has just a weak constitution, it might perk him up. Maybe.
Possibly. You guys have tested it, and definitely made. You guys are already pretty strong, of course, but it made Xander stronger. So
we still have the ambrosia, right?
You still have some, yeah. And then I will say for you, Xander, asking further questions and kind of elaborating about the red crystal, the ambrosia, the auction. It just leads you to multiple dead ends to the point where he starts to kind of steer the conversation away from it in a very polite way, as if to say, "I don't know."
The only reason I'll ask is because you mentioned your friend, and I've heard things about this overseas crystal that help sick people.
Oh, I try to rely on tricks and such. Like I said, not a gambler, so unless it is a guaranteed win in our corner, I guess, not an avenue I would venture down.
Can we tell if he's lying about not a gambler as far as the ambrosia and his friend goes?
We know he's lying because he was there. We saw him. We just need to figure out why he's lying.
Yeah, you do know he was there. In terms of lying, he's definitely lying about that. I mean, Xander literally saw him. He was sitting next to him once the lights faded. You saw him. You don't know if he saw you, Xander, so you're not entirely sure. Now that you've talked for this long, if he did see you, he definitely recognizes you now. He has not lit on anything to allow you to think that. And you don't think he actually turned to look at you because when shit hit the fan, everyone ran. Haha. So in terms of lying, he's definitely lying about being there. But in terms of being a gambler, using it, he's definitely telling you the truth.
Can I do some magic to make it seem like I have some ambrosia in my hand?
Very much so, yeah. Well, what are you trying to do with it?
I want to show him, like, pretend like I have some, see his reaction.
Okay. You do that, and very similar to before, of you mentioning it, he just kind of gives it the old up and down, and, I don't know. Not seen it before, sorry.
Oh, well, I thought I'd show you because, again, thought I recognized you, and I know things went a little up the tizzy over there, but, some people got out with some, so I didn't know if, you'd be interested in any.
Yes, I am, no, unfortunately. You do seem very interested in this, this red crystal product, though. As I mentioned, I don't really go to many auctions, but if I do, he shuffles around his pocket and produces a card and hands it to you, Xander, and says, you can call me, and maybe I can talk to some people and see if I can find something for you. I assume you have just text me, email me, and, you can call me, I can call you, I guess, if we find this, yeah?
Call me.
If you want to reach me. If you want to page me, it's okay.
That said,
I know the scriptures.
One more
I was
question.
there when they were written.
There have been rumors floating around that the ambrosia can for sure heal ailments. Have there?
Not necessarily, no. And from everything,
because I mean, he's not a gambling man, but he could believe that it will actually work for sure.
Potentially, yeah. But for what you guys have gathered,
Well, that's why I tried showing him some, but he didn't really react to caring.
Yeah,
at least in public.
Yeah, in terms of the auction, in terms of the ambrosia and mentioning it, he legitimately does not seem to care.
You said he doesn't care about the ambrosia, or
does not care at all.
Just doesn't seem like he doesn't.
Yeah. So Radiah, since you rolled so well in your investigation, you can definitely tell he does not care. He's not putting up a front. I mean, obviously he's lying to you guys a wee bit, but he's 90% being truthful with y'all. He's sees
not
it.
Lying about the
anything else? No, he doesn't seem to care about the ambrosia though.
Something about that is deeply unsettling to me, but I can't quite pinpoint why.
Yeah. I can also say,
I've been told to go there, get this for him, and they'll help his friend or his partner or cover the medical bills that he's obviously going to be accruing for this in between trying to run the business. We'll make your debt disappear. Go get me this. So he doesn't want to talk about having been sent to go get this.
Oh, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
Actually,
isn't that why James went there?
He did have some. So James didn't specify, did he? He kind of implied that there was something that he needed help with.
Yeah, but someone we met said that they were sent there to get it.
Was that James?
I believe both of them mentioned it, both James and Marvin. James specifically said that he wanted to help Reginald Albright because he felt like he slighted his son in the past. He wanted to right a wrong. So basically, whatever you ask me, I'll do it.
Can I would like to text my secret sponsor again.
Okay.
I would like to know about Gale and his partner's situation.
All right, that'll definitely be a little rougher, so you can go ahead and roll investigate.
That's fine. This is not a rush.
Go ahead and roll that up. Otherwise, if you guys have any other new questions, and I do mean like new, nothing with the ambrosia, nothing with any of that. He's effectively answered everything he can, and he's probably up to the point where he's like on the line of I'm done talking with you guys, but not in a rude way of like I'm here to enjoy the music if you wouldn't mind. He's like right on that line, but so far he seems to legitimately enjoy your guys' company.
You know what? I feel like now's a good time to take a step back.
Yeah, I'm content to pursue this later. When we actually have something on him.
Text him later.
I hand him my business card. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. Or maybe I do.
No,
it's so weird. I haven't. You hand him my business card?
Yes. Here's her business card. Do you remember anything else?
Do you actually do that?
Yes.
Okay, he laughs at that and whips out a little metal case. Then he puts the card in and says,
Oh!
He has a card case?
He's
he
old
does.
school. And here's Radaya's card in case you want to visit her awesome shop.
Wait,
Oh.
what? I have a card?
I made one for you.
What? Oh my goodness, when did you do that?
I didn't realize
I made them for you. It was supposed to be a surprise.
I'll hand you the bundle.
Apparently I have cards.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
It's a
birthday
business
to
expense.
you.
Yeah, this could have been written off and put into my business expenses, but what's done's done.
I mean, if you like the design, you can have it remade. I mean, I didn't order that many.
Roxanne knows people.
Clearly.
Yes.
All right, he very happily takes your card, and with that, if you guys excuse yourselves, he'll kind of, shake whoever's hand him the card, like, oh, thank you very much, greatly appreciate it, and he'll just go back to enjoying his music.
Sweet.
It is late-ish, so he will be forced, of course, to leave the building relatively soon to go back to,
Are you suggesting we trail him?
No, I'm just letting you guys know that the business is closing time, all that good stuff. So
The music gets turned off and the lights are halved.
yeah, they got the mood music on now, where it's like, you can stay for like an hour longer, but we're closing shop after then. And you guys can see some shops are indeed closing as you guys exit, and then some are actually opening. Good old night businesses and such.
Ooh, anything interesting?
Depends what Roxanne considers interesting.
Excellent question. I'm a college student by day and a vigilante by night.
All right, there's a leather shop.
Yeah,
Ooh,
actually,
I know. I need some new gloves.
Roxanne,
Yes.
what do you go to college for?
Well,
Have you not thought about it?
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
So it's liberal arts.
Basically, I haven't quite decided my passion yet. I mean, I'm most happy wandering down the shadows at late at night rescuing people, but they don't teach that at college.
Yeah, I guess that's not really a backup plan. I pat you on the shoulder. I'm like, sorry to put you on the spot.
Thanks.
Alrighty, so it is indeed late. If you guys want to retire back to your homes, you're more than welcome to do so. Roxanne, you will get your question answered in the morning.
I gotta help my little brother with his homework.
Indeed. So unless there's anything you guys want to do, we can basically fast forward to the next day.
I
Yep.
stare sad-faced at the now closed game store.
Sad face.
What?
They'll be open tomorrow.
But yeah, we know it's here. We can come back.
Post.
Alrighty, perfect. And with all that, the day does indeed roll over. And I will go ahead and cure, or I guess reduce damage from anyone who's gotten smacked. I'll remove a believer from Mr. Rodriguez because he's doing much better now. He likes you guys. All right, Roxanne, you're only crushed one. Nice. Probably should have renamed it, but oh well, what are you going to do? Alrighty, so in the morning, Roxanne is basically going to get her texted answer. I'll ask her to sort of elaborate a little so I can answer that more appropriately, of course. And Moira, I say you would see this first in the morning. Your people, because you didn't get sleep last night, so retiring early would definitely be a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
But regardless, you definitely sleep past something, a handful of phone calls, if you will.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Something just happened. They were looking for you, but they don't necessarily need you. They just need somebody. So they just shotgun sprayed this question out of like, hey, we need you to get down there like now and figure out what the hell's going on. Last night, something happened to one of the election buildings. An office of Kevin Cardwell's was seemingly firebombed in the night. There were no casualties, though.
I immediately get up and go to the premises. I guess I start texting back like, hey, who else is there right now?
There are one or two other people from your company that are already there, and they've already effectively reported on it. It happened like really late at night, so they got there ASAP. At night, unfortunately, while you were sleeping, because it did happen overnight. But by this point, the fires have been put out and everything. You rush over there. It's actually not too far from where you currently are, and you can see like floor 15 or so. There's just smoke billowing out of a collection of windows.
So you said it was an election building?
Yes, it was specifically Kevin Cardwell's office. There was no casualties. No one was hurt. The office was seemingly empty when it happened.
You know what? I'm just thinking this has got to be related. This is directly related to Aaron Albright, right?
In terms of what?
Owen Cardwell.
Well, because Owen Cardwell was one who bullied Aaron, and then the father of another son who bullied Aaron was also found dead.
Yes, Mr. Bradley.
I just feel like that's too much of a and now they're going after the election building for Kevin Cardwell, who's running for office. I'm just saying, I think it's connected. I go there anyway, even though other people, because I know that I write better articles than half of those people in there, but whatever.
Perfect. Is there anything in particular you are looking for, or are we just kind of heading by just to get all the information we can?
I'm going to get all the information that I can, because at this point, I'm now convinced that it's related. It's like directly tied to Aaron Albright. And like, obviously, like if that's not the story that you're telling, Master of Ceremonies, don't tell me, because I think that's where Moira is at.
Perfect. In general, if you want to get closer, you most definitely can, but there are police, fire trucks, tons of, looky-loos and rubberneckers and reporters and such, people trying to get closer. They're not necessarily trying to get in. There are also people trying to, yes, get into the building because they have to work, and they're all being denied. There's a ton of people outside right now.
I would like to start talking to people.
Sure. Are you asking any particular questions, or?
Yeah, I just want to get the lowdown.
Oh, yeah, effectively.
Who's already been here.
Yeah, effectively, lowdown is, fires are put out, so people are like, I understand the building was blown up, but, like, I need to get to work. So you get a lot of people that are just trying to, like, bust their way in. You overhear some cops saying, like, okay, good thing there were no bodies found. We've done a thorough search. They're speaking with various firefighters. They're saying, yeah, the fire seems to be completely put out. We don't know what caused it. Maybe it's on a really high floor, but what you gather is it came through the window outside. So something was thrown in on the 15th floor. It doesn't really seem likely, but they're not really sure what story to go with. So you already.
But I know about those flying demon things. So.
Yes.
So
they are not taking flying into account for obvious reasons.
I'm going to text everybody first of all, and then I'm going to text Roxanne specifically, and be like, "Hey, I need you to get me in there."
Done.
And you all see on the news, at this point, they're not saying the cause. They're trying not to show too much, obviously. They don't really want to freak out people that much. But they're effectively saying, be careful. Fortunately, there were no casualties. Nobody was hurt. They're covering it, but they're not giving details for very particular reasons. The perpetrator will be caught soon. They're incredibly confident. And by this point, Roxanne, you would have gotten your question answered from your sponsor. So go ahead and... Basically, I'm going to make it fuzzy or incomplete, and it'll be fully true, but it'll be fuzzy or incomplete answer. So what was your exact question?
Specifically, I'd like to know about the partner's condition.
All right. So specifically, I can tell you that from what you were told from Gale, he said Eric was doing okay. He'll be in there for another week or so, and then he'll, maybe a month at most, and he'll be back out. That is not the truth. His partner is not doing okay at all. In fact, he might not make it in general. They're both around the same age, so they're definitely up there in their years. And while you don't know exactly what's going on with him precisely, he is very sick. You call Roxanne. Roxanne, you're able to show up, and what do you need Roxanne to do for you?
Well, I need to find out. So it's the election building that was firebombed.
We're going to break in, right?
But it was one particular floor, right?
It was one office, specifically.
Okay, that's what I thought. I want to see whose office it is.
Oh, it's definitely Kevin's, 100%.
I mean, I guess I'd like to break in, but I think there are too many people around right now.
Shadows don't give a shit about too many people.
So I would like Roxanne to send her shadows in and see if they can, pick up any kind of information that I can then use.
Sure. Roxanne, roll me sneak.
Yes, this is what I'm good at. Okay, Mask of the Mundane. My sneak roll, result +1 tier.
Indeed. So that is a full success, meaning you're able to sneak in effectively with no issues. So Are you having the shadows go in and then report the information back to you, Moira?
So I want her shadows to see if they can find any information that they can. If there are people still in there investigating already, I want the shadows to see if they can glean any information from what they're looking at.
Sure. The people that are currently investigating seem to be wrapping up, actually. There isn't really much going on in terms of it being very obvious what happened. All the glass is on the inside. Clearly, the damage came from the outside into the building. They are primarily discussing how the hell could this even possibly happen. It is on the 15th floor. This makes no sense. We'll worry about that later, though. You have some people actually looking at the window, like trying to lean out with, rope assistance and such so they don't fall out the window, because that'd be bad. They're trying to see if there's anything like stuck to the windows or any of that, and you're not seeing anything. But one thing you do notice is that the carpet burn, specifically in the middle of the room, is exactly the same as the one where you found the body in the other office.
That's what I thought.
Yep, Mr. Spencer Bradley.
But
yes,
this time there's no body.
There is currently no body, but the fire looks to be the same intensity.
Do we know where Kevin Cardwell is?
Currently, he's basically on the campaign trail, just doing his thing. In fact, part of the news interview, we'll say Radiah and Xander are, they're aware of this, but they're not, sneaking in actively. So you guys can probably check on your phones, and you can see that they interviewed him very, very quickly. He's suited up and all smiles, like, this was probably just an accident. We don't entirely know what happened, but fortunately, no one was hurt, et cetera, et cetera. He's very positive of the situation. Of hopefully, whoever did the ne'er-do-well is caught, et cetera, et cetera.
If this office was overlaid with the previous office where that person was found dead, there would be a burn mark where a person was in the last location. But there was no person in this location.
Weird way to phrase it, but yes, there's a general circular burn mark, not person-shaped.
Right.
As in they were expecting someone to be there and they weren't?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Was Kevin Cardwell, Kevin Cardwell is very publicly on the campaign trail, right? There's no reason that he would have been in the office yet last night.
If he was in the office, he would not be looking as dapper as he currently is on the TV. He would definitely have
Is there any reason? No, that's not what I mean. I mean, sorry, how do I explain this? Sorry.
Somebody knew he wouldn't be home and did this?
I'm asking if...
That's what I was asking.
If
Radiah.
somebody had a reason to think that he would be in that office at that time.
Sure.
And that's why the firebomb went off.
We'll actually flip it. The opposite, actually. It seems...
They knew he wouldn't be there?
They knew no one was there, because it wouldn't just be him. There would be his workers would be here as well. So it seems this happened so late into the night, there was no chance of someone being here. The investigators that are currently in the room, they actually bring that up. They're trying to date it and figure out exactly what time this happened. And they're double checking. Some people are on the phones and whatnot. They're double checking and finding out that the room was clear for at least 3 hours before this happened. Maybe even 4. So there's no chance of someone being in here.
No chance.
No.
And how did Kevin Cardwell look when they were asking about the whole thing?
Like I said, perfectly fine. All suited up, all smiles. We'll catch the person. Fire sure is dangerous. Keep safe, everybody.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's kind of weird. I'd be a little more concerned if I were him, but whatever. I don't think that's even that ridiculous a thing to think.
Yeah, it's either a warning or he said it himself to throw people off the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, there's effectively nothing else here. It's just a simple burning, or as simple as it could be. And now that you have your information, Roxanne, it is relatively early, so your group can basically head to wherever you would like.
Did my shadows come back with info about Charles from the 2 enforcers?
Regarding that, you learned that the enforcers that you guys recognized, of course, they have no way of finding a Mr. Honeylip, but we're not trying to find him. We're trying to find the goons. We find said goons, and maybe you over here, maybe you have your, shadows ask them questions and freak them out, and maybe they lost their powers. So they're freaking out and not sure what's going on. So yes, you basically ask your questions, you get your answers, and effectively, yes, it sounds like they at some point 100% attempted to shake this guy down. They weren't associated with anybody. Literally, they were just expanding their reach effectively. No one really told them to. It was just Honeylip looking to go further. That's it. The shakedown was probably... Well, they don't seem to know. It was either, he got scared or someone else moved in and took his money. Honestly, who knows? All they know is they were trying to shake him down and he just peaced out after. So...
Oh, so their plans fell through?
Yeah, basically. And then further fell through because he all ruined the ambrosia, so they couldn't go back.
What a disappointing end to that trail.
You got your answer, though. You know why he left.
And why was that?
He was threatened.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you have the knife gash in the table. So they threatened him with physical violence, basically saying, pay up or else. He probably doesn't remember the guy who threatened him, which is further weird. And then suddenly he, poof, disappeared.
I gotta make a board.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I have that giant map, but honestly, it's probably more confusing than anything else.
What?
Now, amongst all of this that's been going on that we've been doing, has any farmer been looking for a missing pig?
That's a great question. Where's someone to look into that?
Can I look into it?
Well, you're busy at the building. It's maybe not on fire.
I can. How dare you?
Well, Radia's got spare time to check for missing pig.
Okay.
So possibly, maybe there was like a.
I checked Farmer News, Kijiji, whatever, trying to look.
The Farmers News Craigslist page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Misconnections, but it's for a pig.
That they're gonna show off their prized pig, and he went missing.
Sweet.
Take us back to a connection of where that pig came from and where those madmen came out of nowhere from with pigs and other farm animals that maybe somebody's farm is missing and we need to find the farm.
Someone went and stole Julia, damn it.
Somebody's entire farm is missing, actually. So
that's impressive, actually.
Am I friends with Bacon yet?
I don't know. Let's check his social link.
It's his LinkedIn, actually.
Damn it, I don't use LinkedIn.
I can tell.
I'm
just kidding. I've never had a LinkedIn profile.
I forgot. You haven't played the older Personas, right?
Actually, I am playing through them.
Okay, because the personality thing's called social link, I believe.
Oh, that's right. They are called that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it's called in the newest one.
It's called Confidant. It's so weird.
It is called Confidant. That's why I always think about it as a confidant instead of social link. So I'm not used to it yet.
I don't like it. I'm like, oh, social links. I'm like, where are they? It took forever. I'm like, Confidant. What the hell's this? Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm playing Persona 4 right now. So
good game. Love it.
So I hear.
But yes, I don't know which Arcana the pig would be, Bacon. But no, he's not friends with you currently. He's just chilling.
The Hanged Man.
No, I was gonna say that now. Poor pig.
Oh, poor guy. God, this is really gonna. If I don't create, I gotta create a board right now. I gotta do it. BRB. I'm going on to Canva.com. Do they have conspiracy boards on there? Because I think it would be a great.
Possibly, realistically.
Wait, whiteboard?
Yeah, realistically, if you guys want,
it's called Connect the Dots.
I can just show you guys the city map again. I won't do this now because it will take me some time. Well, actually, realistically, I just have waifu help me with it as it's loading because it's freaking big. We could use this as our whiteboard effectively, and I can put NPCs next to like locations where we know they are. I can delete or just like Honeylip Speakeasy, make that invisible because it doesn't matter right now. Precinct 23 doesn't matter. That was last case. Second Chance Pawnbrokers, once again, these don't matter. So I can make all these basically invisible because they don't actually matter. And I can add all the places that do matter effectively. And you guys can put notes there technically.
I do need it.
So I can do that. I'll have it ready by next session.
All right.
And,
I'll hold you to that.
Sure. And then Radia, if you want to name your coffee shop, I can slap it down in here somewhere. If you want to move your token to where you'd like your coffee shop to be, that is definitely an option.
Where did I say it was around before?
Well, the cruise office is right here where the orange hand is. And there are currently other locations that exist, like Happyville, Independence, Old Quarter. A lot of these are... The city of Mistlor is somewhat complicated. There's a lot going on here, basically. But the Old Quarter, to my knowledge, literally looks like an old, European 1800s town. So, which is it's a gaslight town, I believe. Very, very not cursed Bloodborne. I don't know why I picked Bloodborne. I have every piece of media ever, but sure. Let's ignore the fact that it's not on PC. Cries. So you can put it wherever you want. Don't worry about the actual lore that's currently established. If you think, hey, it would be cool here, then boom, there's your shop.
Yeah, I don't remember where you wanted it originally.
Yeah,
I was thinking I wouldn't have been too far, like a couple blocks over, but I'm not sure where some of the places are that we're currently.
I can throw them all up here.
Seemed wasn't too far.
Yeah, realistically, they don't matter too much in terms of going from location A to location B, because we can hand wave. You guys have a car. You guys can get around. So that's not really too big of an issue. But yeah, I can add some locations later. It just takes some time. But other than that, where would you all like to go next?
Ooh, though, somewhere near the campus and the library and the arboretum sounds like it would be right up a coffee shop's alley.
Sure, if you want to move your token there, so I can get a little bookmark, then I can definitely do that for you.
Well, I think that's a good spot. It's not too far from the library campus.
Alrighty, so in terms of our next destination, or who we want to question, who's up next?
The only trail that I'm aware of that we haven't followed up yet, that I know of, let me repeat that again, that I know of, is Reginald in his warehouse.
Reginald?
Yeah, Reginald frequents an empty warehouse near the pier. He likes to top for unknown reasons in exchange for admitting we sold the ambrosia from the auction.
So I say we go there then.
I think this one needs to be handled sneaky though, because you don't want to scare him away.
Right, of course.
And what time would you guys like to head there? It is prior to, what the hell's prior to noon called? Pre-noon? It's not morning.
Late morning.
Late morning works, thank you. You know, sometimes...
actually, it's legally called brunch.
the simple answers are sometimes the best ones. Yes, it is...
It's brunch time?
It's late morning, pre-noon. What am I talking about?
Can I put in like a request for information?
Yes, what are you looking for precisely?
Well, it would have to be illegally obtained, so I don't know if it would be an official channel.
Did you say illegally obtained?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, I want Reginald Albright's patient records dating back to before his son died. And I want to know who he's been seeing.
Interesting. That would be
that
would be very hard to get.
Yeah.
So you can definitely roll for that. That's investigation.
This would be so bad if I failed it, though. But you know what?
Yeah, definitely use risk of being fired.
No success without the risk.
This will take you some time, though. So if you guys are planning on visiting that abandoned tower, it would be sometime closer to night.
That benefits me more anyway.
That's fine. I don't mind that it takes time. But oh god. Okay, that could have been worse.
That's a 10. Okay, go ahead and manually mark attention. +1 to investigative journalist. Alrighty. So you have 2 clues, 10, full success. That means no bad stuff. So what exactly you want to know? Basically people that he saw in the past. Are you looking for someone, a name in particular, or?
I'm looking for the people. I want to see if he used to speak to Kevin Cardwell or like Philip Bradley or any of the people that were potentially involved in his son's death.
Sure. In general, looking through his history, this will effectively take you all day. So yes, your group will be swinging by the abandoned tower later tonight. But you will indeed get your answer. And we'll say you kind of shotgun spread this of like, get me the information you can, going with underground channels and whatnot. Definitely dangerous, as you are aware. This is really, really skating on that like razor's edge. But you do indeed figure out that one of his clients was indeed Philip Bradley.
It was Philip Bradley. Okay.
Yes.
Let me put this on the whiteboard. So he was seeing Philip Bradley. Was this prior to his son's death?
Yes. In fact, you know that he had been seeing him for a while.
Okay. And how about after his son's death?
He saw him for a little while after.
I don't know if, truthfully though, if I were him, I don't know. I think that would be a conflict of interest. But anyway, go on.
That's effectively it. You do know that he saw him for a little while before and after. So before, he was with him for, I would say, quite some time, realistically.
And then after, it's cut off pretty soon after that.
Very quickly, yes. I would say maybe a week after.
A week after?
Probably around that, yeah.
Okay. And Philip Bradley is the only one?
Out of all the names that you run into, yes.
Okay. I'm going to pocket that information. Can I come back for the second clue later?
You definitely can. Are you thinking about something, or are you just not sure?
Here's my line of thinking. Reginald is trying to get vengeance for his son's death. And I know that James felt very guilty for what happened with him. And I feel like that might be why he was so intent on helping. Did he see Kevin? It's not Kevin at all. Did he see James at all?
The student?
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
He was poor though, right?
I wouldn't call him poor. I'd say like lower middle-ish class around there. So they have money. He's going to college.
Right.
But other than that, I'd say it's probably middle class. But in general, during the period, he would have been first year. He's currently second year in college, so it'd be around there. But he realistically would have, he would have reason to go, but he did not.
Okay, but I do now know that he was seeing Philip Bradley.
Correct.
And I have one more question, I guess. Or was that I guess that was a question.
It technically was. Realistically, you can always ask more. Sometimes, like I said before, if it doesn't... So effectively, the way this game and Monster of the Week works is you don't roll until I tell you to. Basically, until you do something that triggers a roll, there's no reason to roll. Sometimes the thing just happens.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, if you can ask me a question that's so basic, it wouldn't trigger an investigation roll, then I'll just answer it. Or it might be attached to something you've already asked.
I mean, I'm just wanting to look in his records to see if there were any more connections beyond just like the patient stuff. But if I would have to do another roll for that, I can do that.
Patient stuff regarding what exactly?
Just like if there were any other connections between the people that he was seeing regularly as a psychiatrist for the wealthy.
In terms of connections, I would say no.
Okay.
By any chance, did that teenager guiltily call Moira's number yet?
James?
No, the other one.
Oh, teenager. I'm trying to think if they would have had a reason to.
I believe my girl told him if you just want to talk.
You did. I'll say currently no.
True. I think he wants to talk.
With a dead girl.
Okay, don't be weird. He doesn't know.
It's sad. It's sad.
That is sad. He doesn't know at all. How did she die?
Don't know.
You don't know? You don't care?
No, I probably do know. Me, the player, does not know.
Oh. And what time is it when we're done? When I'm done looking at that stuff?
About 9 time.
Well, I think we can go now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's invited. It's a party.
Alrighty, we can definitely do that then.
Actually,
Yes.
God,
Yes.
can I use Ain't a Mountain High Enough now?
What's that do exactly?
Once per session, you can have your characters show up or already be at a scene anywhere in the city.
You can effectively use that for whatever you want. You got something planned?
Can I just pre-be at the tower to see if he's even there? The warehouse, I mean?
Yes, so it's not a warehouse. But yes, you very much can be there if you want. Haven't really seen much action here, but allegedly he is there. So it's a multi-floored building. Do you want to go outside the building or inside the building?
I want to already scout the inside.
Okay, cool. You arrive. As you poof there, do you tell your allies to meet you there or what's up?
Yeah, meet me outside.
All right, perfect. Meet me outside. I'll be inside. So Moira, you're doing your research and such. By the time you get this, Roxanne's kind of already running around this tower by herself. And you notice some things, Roxanne, as you're kind of moving about. One is, yes, this place is 100% indeed abandoned. There is nobody here. You don't see an office. You don't see any real sign that people are staying here or living here or running a business out of this location. It is nil. Obviously, it is dark, but, that's not really a problem for you. Electricity, not working. Water, not working. Very much 100%, as you heard, abandoned. What you do notice, though, is that the very, very top floor seems to be locked in some way. And it is not locked physically. You notice there is a form of like a magic barrier or something that is preventing you from getting in.
Does it extend all the way around the walls?
Yes, windows and everything.
So even the vents too?
Whole thing.
Oh my.
Imagine an invisible barrier around this entire room.
All right.
I will also technically say, don't do so immediately, but you can, I think, I gave you guys drawing permissions on every map, effectively, so you guys can technically draw. Meaning if you want to connect lines and have names and like notes and such, I put the tokens of the characters, like Andre Rodriguez, Marvin, Gail. I put them near where they would be. So Andre near his apartment, Marvin near roadside pickup, Gail near his coffee shop and the Timeless Records. And of course, I have the coffee shop up top and Dark and Sensitive, Candy Designer, etc., etc. So the important tokens are where they would need to be effectively.
So pretty much this whole place is locked down by magic?
The top floor is, yes. And Roxanne, you can maybe technically strong arm your way in here, but it would be difficult.
Man. Oh, why bother? We have 2 magicians in the party. I will meet them.
It'd be nice if we had a magician.
Wait a second.
I will meet them downstairs outside and tell them of my findings.
Magicians? Who's are magicians? I don't know no magicians.
What?
I'm just a cafe owner.
All right. I believe you. I mean, you're not lying.
All right.
You see any rabbits coming out of my hat? No.
Big hat, small rabbit.
But I like rabbits.
Does Roxanne canonically also like rabbits?
Might as well.
Excellent.
And bacon.
Those are separate, right?
Maybe.
What? All right, new question. So you all meet. It is indeed dark. There is a slight overcast, and while it is not fully raining, it is just ever so slightly drizzling. The sky is merely kissing your skin. Roxanne, you descend to the bottom floor, whereupon you see your 3 allies, Xander, Moira, and Radia show up.
Hi, guys. So we have a problem, not problem. There's a magic barrier on the top floor.
I thought you said we had a problem.
It's not a problem.
All right, well let's go in then.
Let's get in.
It's a problem for me. It's not a problem for you guys.
Well, we know what happened last time we tried to get into a door.
Better luck this time.
Are we talking about the locked one that was in front of the shop
about
that
her
we
getting
melted
stuck in the
the
middle.
lock picking? Do we talk about the trying to break into rats' little pockets?
All right, Radia. We haven't had a lot of luck with doors, apparently.
What are you talking about? Every door I've dealt with, I've gotten in. I'm just saying you got stuck in between the door.
No, I skipped the doors. All right, I will lead the way up.
Alrighty, as you turn around, going to head back into the building from whence you came, Roxanne, you see, for but a brief moment, the clouds part over the moon and eke off some light. It splashes down and strikes across the entrance to this building, in which you see an individual standing directly in front of the door.
It's Batman.
And he wasn't there before, right?
Was not there before, not to your knowledge. They did not make a sound, they were just suddenly there.
Oh, hi!
While you cannot see them, you hear from a distance as they shout out to you and say, "What business do you have here?"
I could say the same thing for you, mate.
Please, just answer the question.
It's a pretty cool building. We were looking to buy it.
No can do. It's already taken. It's private property. I'd ask if you
Actually,
all turn
I
around.
own this building, so why are you here, sir?
You can't bullshit me. Sorry. You all need to turn around and leave. Please.
Why? Who are you?
Let's just not get involved, all right? The 4 of you could turn around.
No can do.
You know, you keep on saying, who are we? Why are you here? It's only one of you. You're not really introducing yourself. You know, can't really say much.
As you guys are saying this and saying, who are you? You realize the voice sounds very familiar, as if you've spoken to this person very recently.
As in it's Gale?
It's definitely not Gale.
Good. Old geezer.
And who is it?
Is it that Chad with the glasses?
Do y'all get closer, or...?
I do, yes.
Okay, as you take a step closer, the individual takes a step back, but the light of the moon betrays their figure, and in front of you all, you see standing Andres Rodriguez.
Oh, great.
He's dressed slightly differently this time. Obviously, he's wearing legitimate clothes, not his pajamas. He's wearing a jacket over his stylish but somewhat outdated wear, and you see he's wearing black gloves, and he goes to tighten one of them, and you can kind of hear the leather squeak a bit.
What are you doing here, mate?
Please, if the 4 of you could just turn around.
You know, it's not really answering my question.
You'll have to believe me when I say I can't answer. I don't know why you're here, but I really need you to leave. You can't enter this building.
We can't, but we will. Interesting.
I would really prefer if you didn't.
Are you going to stop us?
He sighs again. And looking at your group, he says, "Do you intend to enter?"
Andre, I thought you knew nothing about Reginald Albright.
He says nothing at that, but his silence speaks for him.
Then our answer is yes.
If I ask you one more time, I know we're not friends, but you seem like good people. If I ask you to trust...
Listen, mate, you don't want whatever's coming to you. So it'd be best if you left and let us deal with whatever is behind that door.
He slunches down. Why do I keep saying that? He slumps down a little bit as you say that.
I love when he slunches down.
New word, baby. New word drop. And he looks at y'all while sort of adjusting his jacket. All right. I take that as a no. You're entering the building.
I nod.
I mean, you're kind of answering your own question while we're here.
His body language is very much letting off the fact that he's both disappointed and sad for some odd reason. But you very quickly see his body language change to become more aggressive. His stance is much more firm. Moira, you instantly recognize that he is very clearly someone who's been practicing martial arts for quite some time.
Oh.
Hey, Moira, he's going to challenge you to one of those kickboxing matches. Go fight him.
You know, I love a challenge. I could do that.
And now as he looks up to you all, the light's still spilling down onto him. His expression is different. It's off. This looks like Andre.
Andreas, how about if you can beat Moira in a fisticuffs fight, then we'll leave, right? And if she can beat you, then you butt out of here.
As you say that, Xander, you can feel your amulet begin to burn slightly against your chest.
He's not possessed, is he?
He takes a few steps forward, and it still looks like Andre, but you guys are all getting a really bad vibe from him.
Oh, guys, I think he's one of those fiery guys that we've dealt with before.
Oh, cool.
I guess battle stations, everybody.
All right.
As he confidently steps forward, you can see him once again adjusting one of the gloves in the pale moonlight. And you can see on the black glove on his right hand has a very large red heart that's overlaid with an image of... it's hard to see, but you can definitely see swords and crossed swords that are overlaid on a heart. And as he tightens this glove...
How far is he from me?
Oh, he's a good, 30 feet from you.
Julio, while he's stepping forward and doing all that, I'm going to, magic hammer, and I'm going to, swing it at him.
Okay, as you get ready to do that, said glove is straightened. He goes to move towards you. You get ready to cast a spell, Xander, and we'll pause there.